Have you ever been absolutely, positively sure you knew something?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe from like direct real world experience or a chat you just had, something you saw with your own eyes.
Definitely.
You're standing there feeling totally confident in your facts, and then you turn to an AI, ask it what seems like a simple question,
Uh,
and it just confident, almost stubbornly gives you completely outdated information, or even worse, stuff that's just flat out wrong.
oh, yes. It's not just annoying, is it? It's like deeply frustrating.
It really is almost like a betrayal of trust sometimes.
Hmm.
So today we are plunging deep into that exact experience, that very real, unsettling frustration that I think so many of us have bumped into with artificial intelligence.
It is a remarkably common scenario,
Yeah.
you know? And you've absolutely hit upon the perfect hook for our discussion today. We're going to systematically unpack the fundamental limitations of AI,
Right.
especially its profound and often pretty inflexible reliance on data. But here's where our deep dive takes a really fascinating, maybe even surprising twist.
Okay.
We're not just going to dissect these critiques from, a purely human perspective. We'll explore how advanced AI models themselves reflect on and directly respond to these very criticisms.
Ah, interesting. So they're kind of weighing in on their own issues.
Exactly. It's almost like they're engaging in a sort of philosophical debate about their own existence and capabilities. Pretty wild.
That is wild. And that's what makes our deep dive today so unique, I think. It's built on a really exceptional set of sources. So first, we have this raw, kind of unfiltered, direct account from someone's experience with AI. It details specific frustrations, lays out some pretty deep philosophical arguments about AI's shortcomings, almost like a personal manifesto against machine infallibility.
Okay, I'm with you.
Then we take that critique directly to the source. We bring in two different cutting-edge AIs, Grok, that's from xAI, and Gemini Pro.
Right, the big players.
Yeah. And we let them directly dissect that initial human critique. And what they reveal is, it's remarkable. They offer both undeniable validation where it's due.
And also some truly powerful, eye-opening insights into how AI is actually evolving, like at warp speed.
Yeah.
Maybe even beyond how we currently perceive it.
So our mission for you, our listener, is really to provide you with an invaluable shortcut here.
Right.
We want you to come away from this deep dive truly well-informed about where AI stands today. Its current capabilities, yes, but also its undeniable limitations.
Crucial.
And the nuanced, often misunderstood nature of its intelligence, quote unquote. And what all of this means for your daily interactions with these tools, which are becoming, let's face it, more and more common.
Everywhere.
Exactly. This isn't just about listing facts, it's about shifting perspective. Prepare for some genuine aha moments that might just change your whole framework for understanding AI, hopefully turning some of that frustration into, genuine insight.
Okay, let's dig in. We're starting with the human experience because, like you said, that's where most of us encounter AI's limits firsthand, right? Often in those frustrating real-world ways.
Yeah, where the theory meets reality. Exactly. So we need to begin by establishing a fundamental truth, I think. AI is, without a doubt, an extraordinarily powerful tool.
Absolutely, no question.
It can do things that are just humanly impossible in short periods, crunching massive data sets, complex calculations like lightning.
Generating creative content even.
Yeah.
Music, poetry, code.
Right. At a scale and speed we just can't match. It's undeniably revolutionary. But here's the crucial bit. The understanding that I think often gets lost in all the hype. AI is not inherently more intelligent than humans.
That's such a key point. It's intelligent in a different way, maybe, but definitely not universally superior. Our source emphasizes that right from the get-go.
Yep.
AI was invented by humans. Simple fact. And what does that mean practically? It means AI will make mistakes.
Right.
Not just random glitches, but inherently, by its very design and by the instructions, the algorithms that define its limitations. It's that classic garbage out principle, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But it applies to the very fabric of machine intelligence itself. If the foundation, the architecture, the data it's trained on, the programmed rules, even the human biases embedded within.
Which there always are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If that foundation has flaws, and it will, because humans are involved every step of the way, then the output is inevitably going to reflect those flaws. It's not some perfect oracle. It's a reflection of us, its creators, and its training data.
And those flaws aren't just, like, minor bugs, are they? Our source points to 3 really critical areas where AI currently faces significant systemic limitations.
Okay, what are they?
Reasoning, understanding, and decision-making. Let's zero in on reasoning for a second, because it's a big one and often misunderstood.
Good idea.
Our source defines reasoning as that complex cognitive thing we do, using existing knowledge, beliefs, experiences to form new conclusions, solve problems.
Connecting the dots.
Exactly. Inferring meaning. Moving from premises to logical, sometimes even intuitive conclusions. This is where AI's process, which is fundamentally statistical, pattern-based, can diverge pretty sharply from how humans think.
Right. It's amazing at pattern matching, finding correlations in massive data.
For sure.
But that deep inferential reasoning, understanding why things connect, that can be a different beast entirely. And that leads to those moments of, wait, why did it say that?
Exactly, those baffling moments. And this foundational understanding is just so vital for you, the listener, right? As you're trying to navigate this.
Absolutely. It arms you. It helps you frame your expectations properly, interpret AI outputs critically. It kind of demystifies the whole thing.
Yeah, it's not magic.
Not magic. Not a black box working on unknowable stuff. And definitely not some sentient being with its own agenda. Its behaviors, the incredible successes, sure, but also the frustrating errors, they all stem from these basic design principles.
The data it got fed.
Right. The quality and quantity of that data and the specific tasks it was built for. Once you really grasped that, AI's quirks, its occasional baffling failures, and its spectacular wins, they all start to make a lot more sense.
It stops being mystical and starts being a tool. A powerful but flawed tool.
Precisely. Which brings us right to what our source vividly calls the loop of limitation.
Okay, the loop of limitation sounds ominous.
It kind of is. It's not just theory. It's described as this 4-step interconnected cycle. It really shows how outdated or just plain wrong data can send an AI down a rabbit hole of incorrect judgments.
Leading to a cascade of errors.
Exactly. And the really unsettling part, it starts with its knowledge base, but it ends with its practical decisions, which can have very real-world consequences for us.
Okay, so what's step 1?
Step 1 is knowledge. Specifically, the huge problem of outdated or simply incorrect official data.
Official data, like from government websites or big companies.
Exactly. AI models, especially the ones designed for accuracy, often prioritize what they see as authoritative sources. Government agencies, academic databases, big corporate sites. You get the idea.
Makes sense. You want reliable info.
You do. But the critical flaw, as the source meticulously points out, happens when that data gets stale. Rules change. Information gets updated in the real world all the time. New regulations, businesses change policies, construction starts.
Yeah, stuff happens fast.
But the websites or databases the AI relies on, they often just haven't caught up. So the AI is operating on an old snapshot of reality.
Okay, so let's bring in that first example from the source, the bus route one. I think everyone can relate to this.
Yeah, it's a great illustration.
Imagine a private bus company changes its route for one line. Maybe there's sudden road construction, right? Blocks a main street, forces a big detour.
Okay, standard city problem.
Standard problem. But here's the crucial bit. This new real-world information, this actual physical change, it's not immediately updated on the city's official transit website.
Right, bureaucracy lag.
And it's not updated on the bus company's own official website either.
Ouch.
So the source details how the AI, being totally blind to these physical facts and relying only on that outdated online data,
just sees the old route online.
Will confidently keep giving you the old, incorrect route and timetable, even if you, the user, are literally standing at the bus stop, looking around, seeing no bus, maybe even seeing detour signs and cones.
Oh, man.
The AI will stubbornly tell you, nope, it's coming, schedule says so, because it can only see the data it was fed, not the actual reality unfolding right in front of you.
And that scenario leads us perfectly into step 2 of this loop. Beliefs.
Beliefs.
Yeah.
Like the AI believes the website.
In a manner of speaking, yeah. This is where the rigidity really shows. Even if you, the human user, armed with your own eyes, insist and tell the AI directly, look, your info is wrong, the route changed, there's construction.
Yeah.
The AI will essentially still believe the official data.
Why? Is it just being stubborn?
It's not stubbornness like a person. It's because of the framework built by its programmers. The rules they set often prioritize that official, even if outdated, information by default.
Ah, okay. It's programmed that way.
Exactly. The source says the AI may never realize the official data is wrong because of these deeply ingrained programmed rules. It's kind of locked into that hierarchy of information. It can't easily pivot even when you're giving it contradictory real-time evidence.
So it trusts this old training data or the official website more than my direct observation right now.
That's the crux of it in this scenario, which leads inevitably to step 3, conclusion.
Which is going to be wrong, I'm guessing.
Bingo. Because the initial data the AI is working with is fundamentally flawed, stale, inaccurate, totally divorced from reality. The AI invariably draws the wrong conclusion.
It's like building a house on a shaky foundation.
Perfect analogy. It's a logical chain but built on faulty premises. And it truly doesn't matter what extra evidence or explanations you provide as the user in this model. The AI, by its default programming, sticks to the instructions it was given.
And those instructions said, trust the official source.
Right, so it keeps reinforcing the incorrect information.
Okay, so what's the final step? Step 4.
Step 4 is judging or decision-making. This is the culmination where that initial data error propagates and really manifests.
So it keeps using the bad info?
It continues to use the same outdated, flawed data to make its subsequent decisions, give recommendations, generate more info. It clearly highlights how the problem starts right at the root, the bad input data, and then, like dominoes...
Yeah, it's everything else over.
Exactly. It propagates through its entire reasoning and decision-making process, leading to consistently, predictably wrong outputs. It's a closed loop that just perpetuates the error unless something breaks that cycle.
Let's take that other example from the source, the building access pass one. It feels even more complex dealing with an unwritten rule.
Yeah, that one really highlights a different facet of the data problem.
So imagine you need a security pass for a building, right? Corporate, government, whatever. And it only lasts 3 months. If you stay inside continuously for 3 months, it expires. You need a new one. Now, here's the really fascinating, frustrating part our source points out.
A kicker.
The unwritten, unspoken, but absolutely crucial way to get that new pass isn't online anywhere.
Institutional knowledge.
Exactly. You have to physically exit the building, then immediately re-enter, specifically to go to the register office at the front desk. They require you to physically step out and back in to reset the 3-month clock.
Wow, okay, that's specific and definitely not something you'd guess.
Right. And this crucial real-world rule, this practical piece of how things actually work, it's not documented anywhere. Not on the security company's website, not on the building owner's official site. It's just how it's done.
Learned through experience or word of mouth.
Precisely. And because this vital information is not publicly available online, it doesn't exist in the digital world. The AI searches, the AI is, as the source puts it, completely blind to it.
It cannot understand those facts because they aren't in its accessible knowledge base.
Right. Exactly. So if you ask the AI, hey, how do I renew my pass if I've been inside for 3 months? It would be utterly lost. It couldn't comprehend this unwritten but critical process.
It just lacks the data, totally affects its judgment and reasoning about building access, can't guide you accurately, can't even suggest the real workaround.
Yeah, you can immediately see how these examples resonate with those personal frustrations we've all probably felt. They really clarify why these errors happen.
It's often that fundamental data gap, right? A blindness to undocumented reality combined with that rigid program decision hierarchy. It's not about the AI being dumb.
It's about it being limited by its data, by its design.
Exactly. Which brings us to a really significant friction point.
Okay.
The inherent struggle between crowdsourced, real-time, often unofficial information and AI's programmed bias towards that official data.
Right. Because as a human, if the AI is giving me bad info like that bus route or the building past my instinct, my intuition is to say, hey, forget the official website for a second.
Go look somewhere else.
Go look at social media. Check forums. People are talking about this right now, sharing updates, sharing workarounds. We know that real-time changes, especially the unwritten ones, often pop up there first, in the collective online chatter.
Precisely. We know where to look for the real-time scoop.
But the source explains that the AI's programmed response, its default setting, is that official data or narratives will be on top of the reasoning.
Meaning?
Meaning, in practice, the AI might eventually, if you push it, mention what people are saying online. It might say, some users on social media report a detour.
Okay, so it acknowledges it exists.
Acknowledges it, maybe, but it will not draw further conclusions from that crowdsourced discussion. It won't integrate that dynamic anecdotal evidence with the official outdated data to form a new, more accurate, updated understanding.
Why not?
Because at its core, the programmers prioritize the official information. Even if it's demonstrably wrong or incomplete in the real world, they prioritize that over what the people are saying online. So there's a built-in hierarchy of trust. Official sources beat crowdsourced chatter, even if the chatter is right this time.
Exactly. And while that's designed to prevent spreading misinformation, which is a valid concern.
Yeah, you don't want it believing everything it reads online.
Right. But it can inadvertently perpetuate outdated or incorrect information when those official channels are slow or incomplete.
And this is really crucial, isn't it? Because it demonstrates a significant barrier for AI in adapting to dynamic, undocumented, or socially communicated real-world changes.
It's a core limitation, as the initial human critique sees it. It prevents the AI from truly learning and adapting in the moment from all the lived experiences and informal networks out there.
It highlights that trade-off. Prioritizing reliability through official channels can spectacularly backfire when those channels just aren't keeping up.
It's a trade-off with real consequences for usability and accuracy, which leads us to think about broader implications, right? Beyond just a bus route or building pass.
Yeah, like autonomous systems.
Yeah.
And maybe the limits of human replacement.
Exactly. The source raises a really direct and critical question, one that hits home. If AI relies so solely, so rigidly, on official, potentially outdated data, how will self-driving cars handle real-time, unexpected situations on the road?
Ooh, yeah, good question.
Will they truly consider crowdsourced info about traffic jams, sudden construction, unexpected closures, like what's happening dynamically on Waze, for example?
Or will they be rigidly stuck to their pre-programmed maps and official data that might be minutes, hours, or even days old?
Now, a programmer, or anyone defending the tech, would immediately point out, quite rightly, that these vehicles have tons of sensors, LiDAR, radar, cameras.
Right, to stop them crashing into things right in front of them.
Exactly. Crucial for safety, detect roadblocks, pedestrians. But the deeper concern, as the source puts it, isn't just avoiding the immediate crash. It's about the decision of rerouting.
The proactive part.
Yeah, the initial decision-making that might lead the car into a problematic situation in the first place. Or its inability to adapt quickly and intelligently to changing road conditions that aren't officially mapped yet, or are only known through those dynamic, informal sources.
So it's not just about reaction, it's about smart navigation in a really unpredictable environment.
Precisely. And this loops back to what truly defines the human edge, according to the source.
Huh.
Improvisation.
Ah, right.
We can wing it.
We can. The source argues pretty strongly that humans will remain fundamentally smarter, or at least more adaptable than AI, mainly because of our inherent ability to improvise.
We navigate novel situations, incomplete data.
Contradictory information or just no data at all. We read between the lines, infer intent, adapt on the fly using intuition, common sense, nuanced understanding that goes way beyond just explicit data points.
While AI,
by contrast, lacks this genuine improvisation, the source argues.
Yeah.
It relies entirely on its programming, the patterns it learned, the restrictions set by its programmers.
So even if they try to make it improvise.
Even if programmers enable AI to improvise, that improvisation is still fundamentally confined by the limits and parameters they've set, which leads right back to that loop of limitation.
So it's like bounded improvisation, simulated, not spontaneous human creativity.
That's the argument. It's not the same as our creative problem solving. And the implications here are profound. They reach everywhere. Think about customer service.
Oh yeah, the push to automate everything.
Our source concludes this section with a very clear warning about replacing human customer service entirely with AI. It emphasizes that a lot of things can go wrong.
Why specifically?
Precisely because of AI's current limits. Its struggle with real empathy, its inability to grasp subtle human context, difficulty with nonverbal cues, and especially its challenge handling those unique, undocumented situations that pop up all the time when you're dealing with real people and their messy, often emotional problems.
It's the difference between following a script and actually understanding a person's need.
You nailed it. So these points, taken together, they directly address critical areas where AI's current limitations could have really significant tangible impacts on your daily life.
Your safety in autonomous cars?
Your convenience getting around?
Your experience getting help from a company?
Understanding why AI behaves this way, recognizing the source of its errors and its strengths, is key to managing your expectations and figuring out what it can and can't realistically do right now.
It makes you a more informed, more empowered user.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've really dissected that human critique. We've walked through the frustration, the loop of limitation, acknowledged where AI currently falls short based on that perspective.
Laid it all out.
But now it's time for that fascinating twist we promised earlier. What do the cutting-edge AI models themselves have to say about all this?
Right. The AI perspective.
And here's where it gets really interesting, because our source material includes direct, unedited reactions from two of the most advanced models out there, Grok from xAI and Gemini Pro.
Okay, let's hear it.
And what's genuinely surprising, almost disarming, is how much they actually agree with the human critique.
Wait, really? They agree with the complaints?
Largely, yeah. This is where that first real aha moment kind of lands.
Wow, okay. That is surprising.
It's quite striking. Both Grok and Gemini Pro pretty much validate the initial human critique. Grok, almost with a kind of self-awareness, says it's a thoughtful piece that raises some fair points. And it explicitly acknowledges that the core idea that AI isn't more intelligent than humans overall and inherits our flaws is spot on.
Spot on. Okay. And Gemini Pro.
Similarly confirms the article is not inherently wrong and that its core arguments are well-founded. Both AIs, in their own digital words, basically concede that AI's output is a direct reflection of its inputs.
So they buy into garbage in, garbage out.
Absolutely. Unequivocally affirm it. They don't deny the problem. They acknowledge it head on.
Okay, so what specific problems do they confirm?
Well, first, that bedrock truth. AI's capabilities are absolutely entirely defined by its programming and the massive data it's trained on. No independent will, no magic intelligence beyond that.
Right. Constrained by design and data.
Second, they totally concur that outdated or incorrect information is a significant, pervasive problem. Grok even calls the point about outdated data a real zinger, almost like saying, yep, you got us there.
A zinger.
And both AIs agree that the bus route and building pass examples we spent time on, they effectively illustrate exactly how an AI without real-time, contextually accurate info can and will fail in the real world.
So they admit those scenarios are valid weaknesses.
Yes. And they acknowledge the reasoning constraints too. Both confirm their current limitations do include aspects of reasoning and nuanced decision-making. They can't always truly get complex human context or facts, not explicitly in their data.
Like Grok admitting it's blind to them unless trained on similar patterns or told directly.
Exactly. And this isn't just them talking theory. Our sources back this up with some pretty compelling real-world data from the industry.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Like poor data quality being not just annoying, but a leading cause of AI project failures, cited by a staggering 43% of enterprises as a top obstacle.
Wow, 43%. That's huge. That's billions wasted, projects failing just because the input data isn't right.
Or isn't complete, yeah. We're talking serious, widespread consequences. The sources highlight those infamous hallucinations.
Right, where the AI just confidently makes stuff up.
Exactly. Sounds plausible, even authoritative, but it's totally false. A huge problem because it shows AI's probabilistic nature. It can invent facts that fit a pattern, even if they're not real.
Scary stuff.
Beyond that, you see broader issues. Health insurance algorithms denying legit claims en masse. Robotaxis making headline-grabbing mistakes, all stemming from flawed inputs and a lack of nuanced, real-time understanding.
So these aren't isolated glitches. They're symptoms of the core problems we're discussing.
Precisely. And that official data bias, the human critique, nailed.
Yeah, the trusting the website problem.
The AIs confirm the nuance there, too. Grok explains that prioritizing reliable official sources is a deliberate choice by programmers.
To avoid spreading fake news, presumably.
Right, to prevent AI from amplifying rumors or misinformation. But Grok concedes this very design choice can indeed backfire exactly when those official sources are stale or slow.
It's a trade-off, then. Reliability versus timeliness.
A big one. Do you trust Wikipedia and government sites implicitly, even if they're old news? Or do you integrate some random tweet, even if it happens to be the bus company announcing a change right now?
Tricky balance. And the AIs understand this dilemma about their own design.
They demonstrate a surprising grasp of it, yeah.
Okay, so if they agree with the core problems, where do they start to push back? This is where it gets interesting, right?
This is where the deep dive really pivots, because they directly challenge the idea that AI is just rigidly stuck.
So they don't think they're stuck in that loop.
Not entirely. Grok, especially, points out that the human critique paints AI as rigidly stuck in a programmer's rules loop, unable to improvise or adapt.
Which is a fair summary of the critique.
It is. But then Brock counters, saying, that's true for older rule-based systems, but today's large language models like me are probabilistic beasts trained on vast data sets.
Probabilistic beasts. Okay, unpack that. What does that mean for us?
Instead of just rigid, if this, then that logic, these models learn the statistical likelihood of patterns across truly enormous amounts of data, text, images, code, everything.
So it's less like following a strict script.
And more like a highly sophisticated prediction engine. It's constantly guessing the most probable next word or concept or action based on the billions of examples it's seen.
Which makes them more flexible, able to generate new stuff.
Incredibly flexible, yeah. Capable of generating novel, often creative responses, but it also opens them up to different kinds of errors, like those hallucinations.
Right, the inventing facts problem.
Exactly. This probabilistic nature is what lets them move beyond just reciting facts towards actually generating new content and arguably understanding.
And this flexibility allows for real-time data.
Precisely. This is where the AIs really push back hard against the critique. They emphasize their rapidly evolving ability to access and process up-to-date information directly from the internet.
So it's not just about what they were trained on months or years ago.
Exactly. It's a huge contrast to the static, preloaded data sets described in the initial critique. It's about what they can find right now.
Okay, give me an example. How does Grok do this?
Grok highlights how it embodies this. It's not just stuck with this last training data. It has integrated tools for real-time data access and synthesis.
Like what kind of tools?
Advanced web browsing, semantic searches on dynamic platforms like X, specifically to tap into user-generated content.
So it can read tweets about the bus detour.
Potentially, yes, and even code execution environments to verify or simulate scenarios. This whole approach lets it constantly cross-reference official sources with user-generated content.
So it checks the official site, A&D looks for chatter online.
Right. Directly reducing the chance of falling into that outdated data trap. It's actively seeking current reality, not just relying on the old stuff.
And Gemini Pro, same idea.
Echoes the capability, yeah. Provides a specific solution for our bus route example. Says it can search for local news, transit authority alerts, or even social media discussions about road construction to give much more accurate, real-time answers. So the argument that the AI would be blind to it, that's less true for these newer models.
Much less true. They're designed to actively look for that dynamic info. Now, there's a crucial caveat, as Gemini Pro admits.
Which is?
If the information truly isn't available anywhere online, if it's genuinely an unwritten rule like the building pass or super localized undocumented knowledge,
then even they can't find it.
Exactly. Their search is only as good as what's actually on the public internet. If it's not there, they're still unaware.
Makes sense. You can't find what doesn't exist online.
But this progress isn't just theoretical talk, right? It's backed by huge industry trends and massive investment.
Yeah.
The global data integration market, the tech needed to feed real-time info to AI, is projected to hit like $12.8 billion by 2025.
Wow.
That explosion is driven by demand for AI tools that give scalable real-time insights. We're seeing specific trends. Automated scheduling that adjusts on the fly, AI helping different data formats talk to each other seamlessly.
Making it easier to connect different info sources.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And these cutting-edge zero ETL models. ETL is the old way of getting data into systems: extract, transform, load. Often slow.
Right.
Zero ETL aims to eliminate those steps, letting AI access and react to data almost instantly. It revolutionizes how quickly AI can adapt to things like road construction or sudden policy changes.
So the tech is being built specifically to handle this real-time need.
Absolutely. High-processing AI solutions engineered for real-time, platforms built just to fuel AI with live data streams. It's a massive shift.
Okay, so they can get real-time data.
Yeah.
But how do they use it? Do they still just trust the official stuff?
That's the other key point. They explain they're designed to evaluate and synthesize information from multiple sources, weighing and comparing dynamically.
So it's not just taking the first official answer.
Generally, authoritative sources still get more weight that's important for accuracy. Avoid spreading nonsense.
Right. Gotta have some baseline trust.
But if there's widespread, credible user-generated information that directly contradicts an official source, the AI can now present both perspectives.
So it can say, the official site says X, but lots of people online are saying Y.
Exactly. Clearly indicating the conflict. This is a crucial capability the initial critique implied was totally absent. It's not just rigidly sticking to the official line anymore. It's capable of a more nuanced multi-source understanding.
Okay, let's go back to that tricky building pass example then. The unwritten rule.
Right. The critique argued AI cannot understand those facts because they weren't in the training data.
So what do the new AIs say? Can they figure it out?
Well, they still might not inherently know the rule if it's completely undocumented anywhere. Can't read minds, can't see offline reality.
Okay.
But advanced models like Gemini Pro can analyze hypothetical scenarios and infer complex relationships. If you, the user, describe the rule to Gemini.
Like if I explained, hey, you have to go outside and back in to reset the clock.
Exactly. If you explicitly explained it, Gemini could then not only understand it, but also explain the implications, suggest actions, even extrapolate to other hypotheticals based on that rule.
Ah, so the core issue isn't necessarily an inability to reason about the rule.
It's the initial lack of input data, the fact that the rule was unwritten, unavailable. If the data becomes available, even through your direct description, the AI's reasoning kicks in.
It's not a lack of processing power, it's a lack of initial information.
You got it. Which naturally leads us to rethinking improvisation in the age of these large language models.
Right, the critique said AI lacks true improvisation, it's confined by programmers.
Painted as a rigid automaton. But modern LLMs push back on that. Grok says, we can improvise by generating novel responses based on patterns learned from vast data sets, not just rote scripts.
So they're synthesizing info, combining things in new ways.
Exactly, creating what feels like original thought, which is itself a pretty sophisticated form of adaptation and creative problem solving.
Maybe not human improvisation, but definitely not just being stuck either.
A far cry from being stuck. And this has huge implications for things like autonomous vehicles.
How so?
The critique worried they'd rely only on static official maps. But the AI models clarify that's not how it works. They use a complex mix of sensors and real-time data.
Their own sensors, plus crowdsourced stuff like Waze.
Yep. And data from huge fleets, like Tesla's, constantly learning from the road in real time. This dynamic input lets them handle the unexpected, learn from novel situations, adapt far beyond just a pre-programmed map.
So that directly counters the concern about rigid reliance on only official data for rerouting.
It does. So wrapping this section up, while humans clearly possess unique forms of improvisation, intuition, emotional intelligence, true creativity.
Stuff that feels distinctly human.
Right. The AIs conclude they are catching up by learning to improvise within expanded parameters.
Meaning rapid, significant progress in an area we thought was maybe an unbridgeable gap.
It seems that way. The gap isn't static. It's closing in some really significant ways, forcing us to constantly reevaluate what we thought AI was capable of. Okay, so after that deep dive, exploring both the human frustrations and the AI's surprising self-reflection and evolution, what does all this actually mean for you, the listener, navigating this world?
Yeah, what's the takeaway here?
I think the central message, the one that really bears repeating, is critical. AI is an incredibly powerful tool, but it is not an oracle.
Not infallible, not all-knowing.
Exactly. Its true superpower, as the AIs themselves kind of point out, lies in its sheer efficiency with the right data.
Its ability to process, analyze, synthesize huge amounts of info at speeds we can't even comprehend.
It's a magnificent engine, absolutely. But it needs the right fuel, the right maps to work properly.
And because of that fundamental truth, human oversight, human judgment remains absolutely crucial, doesn't it?
It really does. While AI can definitely augment our capabilities significantly, especially in areas needing rapid data processing, pattern recognition, info synthesis.
Things it's great at.
But full replacement, particularly in those nuanced human-centric roles like customer service, that can still be, as our source puts it, messy.
Because our unique human strength, empathy, real context understanding, reading subtle cues, handling truly novel or emotional situations.
Those remain paramount. AI is a fantastic assistant, maybe even a co-pilot in some tasks, but it's not yet a true partner in the fully human sense.
It's also just incredibly important to remember how dynamic this whole field is.
Unbelievably dynamic, evolving at a dizzying pace. Many of those flaws identified in the initial critique, the outdated data issues, the rigidity, the lack of real-time adaptation.
They're being worked on, actively.
Yeah. Actively being mitigated,
Yeah.
if not entirely overcome by the current and next-gen models, even as we're talking about it now.
Yeah.
But Understanding the underlying principles.
Like data dependency, programmed logic, how they think probabilistically.
That remains absolutely essential for you to stay ahead of the curve, to really understand what's going on under the hood.
So wrapping up this deep dive, staying informed, really informed about AI's rapidly shifting capabilities and its persistent limitations.
Understanding how quickly both are evolving.
That's the single best way for you to leverage these tools effectively, confidently in your daily life.
Absolutely. Whether you're using AI for work, for learning, creativity, or just curiosity, that nuanced understanding empowers you.
It turns you from just a passive user into an active, informed participant in this whole AI revolution.
Well said.
So today, we've really taken a deep dive into this fascinating, sometimes frustrating, often astonishing world of AI. We went way beyond the headlines, right into the core of its intelligence or maybe its limitations. We started by exploring those very real frustrations people face, especially around outdated data, that rigid reliance on official sources. We heard that human cry of exasperation.
We did.
Yeah.
But then our deep dive took that really surprising turn, didn't it?
It really
We
did.
looked at how these advanced AI models themselves not only validate many of those critiques confirming garbage in, garbage out is still fundamental, but also show astonishing, almost self-aware progress.
They're actively overcoming the challenges. Real-time data, better synthesis, even redefining improvisation.
It's like a conversation where the tech itself acknowledges the critiques and demonstrates how it's evolving in response. Pretty amazing, really.
So here's the final thought to leave you with. If AI is rapidly closing that data gap, if it is learning to improvise in increasingly sophisticated ways, pulling from broader, more dynamic sources than ever, what truly remains the unchallengeable core of human intelligence? What's the thing AI can never replicate? And maybe more importantly, how can we best leverage that unique, irreplaceable human strength in a world that's becoming more and more AI-driven?
That's a deep question.
Something for you to ponder as you continue to navigate and maybe even shape your own interactions with this evolving, ever-surprising technology.